Somebody said yesterday something very interesting, talking about electricity as a fuel. Well, not really. Electricity is a way to convey energy from one place to another, but it's not necessarily a fuel in itself. There's some sources of energy. So just to set the context, the people after me are going to talk largely about the actual part of the chain that they're involved with. But I wanted to give you an idea of what the whole chain looks like. And you probably see that, but what is interesting is how it's changing. If you look at what's happening outside right now with those very discreet NASCAR cars running behind us, is a very linear thing. It goes from petroleum, basically, to liquid fuel, gasoline or diesel, and then it goes to a pump in a gas station, and then it goes to a car. And we've been living like that for, I don't know, what, a century now? That's basically been the line. So now that we're getting a little bit smarter about this, it takes people, society, a long time to learn things. So it just took about 100 years. Now we're looking at really diversifying that, and not only diversifying this side of the picture, which is what you see out there, the cars, the engines, then the fuels that these vehicles use. But that's pushing the diversity all the way back into the sources as well. So when you talk about the future of fuels, you need to consider three things. It's like a triangle. You have, on the one hand, the source of the fuel. On the other hand, you have the consumption end of the fuel. And in the middle, you've got the way to convert it. And at the center of the whole thing is the end user, the customer. So what's happening to Shell now is that our feedstocks are a little bit more difficult all the time. We talk about the fact that it's just the law of thermodynamics. We've already taken care of the easy oil, and the oil that we now have to find is harder. And then the other sources we can use, it's harder. And that just translates into more technology, having to be more careful with how much energy you spend to get the source to work for you, because that's a big issue. I mean, you have to spend energy to get difficult crudes or non-conventional oil out of the ground, and then you have to spend energy to modify it, and all those things cascade down the line. In the future, what Shell believes, and I think we're very much taking a position on that, is the fact that there's going to be a diversity of platforms that need to be served.
Are you guys involved? I think Iogen got one of those Department of Energy grants to build a plant in the U.S. I'm not sure who they were partnered with. Are you involved in that one too?
I believe we are, yeah.
You're an investor in Iogen.
Yeah, yeah. Yep, thanks.
Iogen also recently was named in the Canadian government's most recent budget presentation to be a specifically named company for upwards of a $200 million grant if you build a plant in Canada.
You said the wheel-to-wheel reduction could be up to 90%. Is that with a specific feedstock, or is that with in general anything that shouldn't be broken down?
In general, as long as the feedstock is some renewable grass or material, cellulosic material, yeah.
And that would be 100% cellulosic ethanol?
That would be 100%, yeah. Used at 100%, yeah. Yeah.
James, we did talk about Iogen, and we talked about the fact that they had said that within 2 years they would have a plant down here.
If I may, the issue in the U.S., if you recall, is that there's a two-part program. There's a loan grant program, which the Department of Energy recently awarded 6 companies. And Iogen was one of those 6. There's also another piece of the financing that's needed, which is a loan guarantee program. If you read the recent Bingham Da Vinci bill that was just introduced last week, there is a section in that bill that orders rather forcefully the Department of Energy to move on with loan guarantees. And so once Iogen is able to seek a loan guarantee along with a loan grant, that should be sufficient financing for them to consider their first plant, or a plant, which is currently slated for Idaho.